Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am so glad you're here with me today because this is a pretty important moment for me. It's flip through day. I'm really excited to show you this journal. I'm so excited I've even hidden it underneath this bright green cloth thingy, and I'm really excited. So I got my inspiration from, and I've written it down, so just give me a second. I was inspired by the Woodland Fairy Journal that is made by Hick, and you can see the flip through on Hummingbird Tales channel, and it's just amazing. Like, honestly, I thought it was really beautiful. It's fully decorated, it's all painted, there's lots of stuff happening everywhere, and it's very different from all the journals I've made before. And honestly, I have no idea how someone can use that kind of journal because there's like no writing space. So I would love to know if you guys would actually buy something like this. Like, what would you do with it? Is it just to like add more decorations, or just have this object, you know, it's like an art, like a art piece. So yeah, I would really like to know your take on this and what you think, and especially what you think of this journal. Yeah, I would love to see your comments on it because I'm really excited to show you. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to reveal it now. And this is from a book cover that I've reused. It's one of those books that I've just cut open and then I've just fully reused the cover. I've cut it to size over here, and over here it was pretty much the right size. And then I've done a little bit of stenciling with modeling paste over here, so it's a bit like a wooden thing, and it's all very green and very foresty. And I've done a lot of collage, and this is all die cuts of plants that I've used throughout the book. And the cover was very different at the beginning, and I've completely changed it. This is a real leaf that I've incorporated inside, and you have some from like napkins, and you have this mushroom from a book, and then more cutouts, die cuts, and then this insect here, and there's like stamping, and there's lots of splattering. And this is bark from a tree here in France. It's bouleau. I think it's willow. You know, it has this white bark. I really like this tree, and the bark is so thin, it's paper thin, so you can actually just glue it. And I have, I know that these are really brittle and really easy to break, so I've actually protected them with a layer of paper like this, you know, from a napkin, so they're protected and they won't come off. And I've added this little closure here, which is a tiny button that I've sewn into our cover, and then there's an elastic here, and it's 2 signatures that you can see here, and you have only 40 pages. I usually do a lot more. I usually do 100 pages, but I'm pretty glad I've stopped at 40 pages because, as you can see, it's already like enough, way enough. And to tell you the size, this is 27.5 times 16.5, and then we have 4 centimeter spine. Sorry. All right, and I've done this with cardboard on top of the cover to add a little bit of dimension. Yeah, how about we just dive in? So this is the inside. Most of these images have been taken from books and magazines and a bit everywhere, so you'll see the shine, which is something I quite like. I've also used varnish on all these pages. It's matte. I'm pretty sure you can still write on it, but I really wanted to protect the pages, especially the watercolor that can come off a little bit if you put water on top and stuff. And I've put this lace here and here, and there's cloth at the back as well that I've painted so it would look good. And it really helps that it's not going to break or anything like paper sometimes does. And this is my inner cover that I've completely painted over and really decorated. So there's napkin, there's my die cuts, there's some stamping, there's more stamping. This time it's on napkin. I mean, there's lots going on, and I really like adding some insects here and there because the forest is full of life. It's full of insects, and they're just amazing little creatures. They're there to help out, you know, and I really want to create a bit of awareness on this. Like, they're not creepy creatures. They might look a little bit creepy, but they're so important, and I really wanted to have them in this journal as well. Sorry, it's late. I finished this journal and I was just too excited to show you to actually just go to bed and do it tomorrow. So I decided to just do this flip through. But I fear it's going to take a while because there's so much I want to show you. So I've done a lot of collage on the pages. Sometimes you can see the page I've used is actually a really old page from a really old book. So it's really brittle, and I shouldn't have done that, but I did start like this. So I've just covered each page entirely with like paper, and then I've used gesso to kind of, you know, fill in and blend everything. And I was very inspired by all these artists that do canvas works. I'm thinking about Mara Elmi. I'm not sure about the name, sorry, but I will link it down if I figure out how to do that. And if I forget, please comment. And then we've got like more stamping with music, and this is from image from a junk journal, and these are some little stamps here and an actual stamp everywhere. This is some stamping as well on paper, and my die cuts are everywhere. I just really wanted to incorporate them everywhere, so I'm really excited about that. Done a lot of stamping, and I've added some writing that actually means stuff. So you have here a word. I think it's Norwegian, Smoltronsdal. I'm sorry if it's badly said. Imagine a pretty place in the wilderness, a special hidden place where you can relax and enjoy the smell of fresh berries ripening in the sun. And that's actually what that word means. I thought it was so pretty that I decided to put it in this journal. And here it's my first time doing some embossing. I was really excited to do that, and I've put it a bit everywhere. And there's more, and here also what's it called? I hate it when I forget the words. When you, it's structure paste. Yeah. And then there's more stuff everywhere, some background images poking out, and then some die cuts. And I've done, as usual, some little tags that I like to add in. Of course, these are unique. They all have different ribbons. And here is another little tag that you can't see. Now you can see it. And I've just attached it here, and on the back you can see a little flower and more die cut there. And then we have here Stop and Smell the Flowers with some lace and more die cuts. I really wanted it to look like, you know, trees, just like the leaves falling down and the birds inside the trees. And then you have more images everywhere, and then we go more down to the ground where it's a bit browner, and you get mushrooms and some plants with the stencil and the paste. And then you have the tree rings, which is a stamp I have. And then some more of these insects that I think are really, really pretty. And this was given to me by one of my pen pals, and I'm really, really happy. I think it's really pretty. And then you have more texture paste. There's texture paste all over this journal. I really used it everywhere. I was really happy to do that and give it a lot more texture, a lot more space. And I did leave a few spaces to write because I had to. And I've added this. I thought it was pretty cute, which says just write. And then I found this really old vintage photo, and I just incorporated inside. And you get a little mouse here that I think is so pretty, and it's got all these plants and the flower and the texture paste and the, yeah, I love ferns, so I've put ferns everywhere. And you get another insect here with it, which is a stamp. And there's, you know, images and designs on the background everywhere that are poking through all the time, the paint. And I've used watercolor paint on top of the gesso, so you keep this transparent feel everywhere, and you can read, you can see what's written underneath, and you can see the collage. And here we have a little deer that I found in a newspaper, well, no, a news, like a magazine, sorry. And this butterfly is from a butterfly book that I bought. And I love this little rabbit, and it's got little glitter on it. I don't know if you can see it, and it's also like 3D. It's got dimension. It's a sticker. I thought it was really, really pretty and perfect for this journal, so I decided to add it in. And you get different ribbons, more texture paste here, and I did some dry brushing with gold. Don't know if you can see the gold, and some white as well. And I have put golden and silver accents a bit throughout the journal. And there's another stamp here with little birdies that I think are really, really cute. And I've put also some of this napkin a bit everywhere throughout the journal to really give it a bit of dimension. And you can also see some stencil with the texture paste and the dry brushing on the napkin, and some stamping with music and little birdie from a magazine, some more stamping, And this is from a book I found, and it's a language I do not know. If you do know, I would love to know what kind of language this is. It's really interesting. I really like it. There's lots of dots and stuff everywhere. It's really pretty language, I think. And here we have some more bark from this willow tree, I think. White barked tree. Some more stamps. And this is an old, and I think there's one here as well, yeah. So there's the top and the bottom. And this is from a book. I just really thought it looked pretty cool, so I wanted to add it in here. And it's the, you know, the spine of a very old book that's just come out. And you've got more texture paste with the gold, more stamping. And I feel I'm going to start repeating myself with all the texture paste everywhere. And this is the middle of the first signature, sorry. And then you have all the die cuts and some images, some stamping as well, some stenciling, and the napkin and mushrooms from books. I love mushrooms, so I had to put them in, and some images as well of a forest from a magazine that I thought were really cool, so I really wanted to put them in there, and I'm really glad they actually came through. And then you have some more insects. I really wanted to add insects, and I thought this was a really cool one. I have no idea what it is, I just think it's pretty cool. And then a frog. I really hope you guys are into these creatures, and if you're not, I would love to know what you think. Like, is it creepy to you, this kind of use in a journal? Or would you actually, well, maybe not buy it, but give it to someone else, or consider, or sorry. Yeah, I would love to know, like, is it too creepy to buy if you don't like these animals, or do you understand? Does it go with it? You know, just let me know. And then here we have some more embossing. It's my first time. I just bought these embossing powders, so I was pretty happy to use them. And I really like the white trees. Thought it was pretty cool. And some more images, and here we have some more of the napkin and the gold and white also. I've put white on top so that you really see, like, it really pops out all this texture here. And this one's from another magazine. There's loads of images from magazines. I really wanted to add them. And I don't know, a badger? Yes, this is a badger. And these are incredible creatures. Like, they're so useful in the forest, and well, in France there's a lot of problems because they really like to hunt them, and they're like useful, and they have really bad press, badgers, in France, and it's really problematic. So yeah, I really wanted to add them in this journal, and there was already on another, that's the rabbit, it was on here, I think. No, still to come. Still to come. Okay, and then there's more texture paste with a butterfly, and this little frog here, and little rabbit. I love the rabbit, so pretty. And that's a little stamp I have, and more texture paste and some plants. I wanted the frog to be looking like it's coming out of a pond or the forest and stuff, and just add lots of stuff. And as you can see, it's all pretty torn, all the pages, and they're all, like, there's lots of layers on each page. So it's pretty, you know, it's quite thick in the end. It's not gonna go anywhere. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. And then you still have these words everywhere. Forests, and the definition with area with lush trees and vegetation, and some more embossing. And this is a real leaf that I added in, and it's again protected with a napkin, so it's not going anywhere. It's like pretty flat. And some more images from magazines. This is a photograph. And some of my ferns. I'm just gonna call them my ferns. And I really like this stencil with the texture paste. I think it's just really pretty with the dark green and the gold. And of course the white on top as well. And then we have a little hedgehog. And I love hedgehogs. They're so cute. I want a hedgehog at home. But they're endangered, so we really need to protect them. And I really like this sentence, almost completely quiet, about the forest. Because it's true, when you go into the forest, it's like so peaceful, but there's noise. There's like birds chirping, and there's insects, and there is noise, but it's not noise. It's just, you know, the sounds of the forest, and it's almost completely quiet. So I really like this. I thought it was really cool. Oh, and then there's also, I've put these, this is paper. It's got a lot of texture in it. I think it's handmade paper that I got from India. And I really liked using it. I've put it in other places as well. I can't remember where, but we've passed it already. Here, there's lots. Here and in other places as well in the journal. And then here we have another tag with a little sticker, and I love this sticker of a tree. I thought it was really cute. And then here I made another tag with a little I'm just gonna call it stamp with a little bunny. And that's it, with some yarn that I wanted to incorporate as well. And there's another hedgehog. I love hedgehogs. And some more stamping and some background paper, and then stamping on green paper. I've done that before as well. Here. And then you can see the background. This is actually a napkin, the design, and you will see it throughout in some of the places. This design with like ferns and leaves from the forest. And you have some more stamping. Sorry, this is a stencil with a modeling paste and more ferns. And there's a lot of splatter in all my pages. I just thought it makes everything look good, so I just went crazy with the splattering and also the die cuts. And there's a little libellule, dragonfly, yes. And this insect, I don't know what it's called. I thought it was really cool. It's a vintage drawing that I just fussy cut and added in here. And then we have here the same stencil that I've used for the modeling paste. But this time I painted it black with watercolor, and there's some napkin on top as well. And then you have some more stamping with leaves and plants. And here we are at the end of this first signature, beginning of the second, and there's this really long tag that is an actual tag from a shop that I've reused. It used to contain a piece of jewelry. And I put this bird. It's one of my favorite. It's very, very common in France. It's called étourneau. And when you look at it, it's pretty dark. It's not very interesting, but when you look at it closely, it's got so many colors. It's really bright, and the colors are always moving and changing, and it's a beautiful bird, honestly. And then I got this pretty long explanation of what petrichor means. And it says, do you revel in the earthy smell that follows a rainfall? Especially after the weather has been warm and dry, the earth releases a pleasant smell that some people love. And I do. The word's origins are Greek, derived from combining the Greek word for stone and ichor, the blood of mythological gods. And I thought this was just so, like, poignant. You know, it's full of meanings, got so much sense. They had this word that actually means the earthy smells after a rainfall, and that's one of my favorite smells, but I do not think in French we have a word for this. I would be so happy if we actually invented one, because it's one of my favorite smells ever, especially in the forest, but even in the city. And then we have here another bird. It's a blue tit. It's adorable. I love tits. I love blue tit and dark, like the ones charbonnière. In French, it's called the mésange. I think it's a pretty name, mésange. And this is a mésange bleu. For blue is bleu. And then we have some more stenciling, lots and lots of splattering, and again this language I do not know, and some more images from magazines. And we have here a little pocket, and this is a page from cardboard scrapbook paper that I really like. I'll try to put the name in if I can. And then I've done another little tag with, this is another tit. In French, it's a mésange huppé. It's got a little, this like Tintin. So that's a huppe in French. So it's mésange huppé that has this thing. I have no idea the word. And then I did a little bit of a glaze here. And another insect, again with this glaze embossing here, and some more napkin, and yeah, I've got more images and this little, and there's just so much going on. And that's the napkin I told you about, with more images of butterflies in an idyllic corner of the forest. And then you go more into like blues, bit more, you know, nightfall or like foggy with a little bird, and some more plants and ferns. And then you get a beautiful butterfly, and that's actually like the male part and the female part, which I thought was pretty cute. And then you get this flower from a magazine, and some more stamping with the, sorry, not stamping, the paste, the structure paste that I made myself, by the way, with just flour and a bit of water and some glue and a little bit of white paint. And I just mixed them up. That's what I got. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then you get another image, and this is a mésange noir. It's another tit. They're everywhere in the forest in Europe. And I really like this little plant here, little flower, and some more of my favorite ferns everywhere. And then we have here, I think this is une hermine, or is it a loutre? I'm not sure. But I thought it was just so pretty. I had to put it in. And there's another one here. Well, this is another animal altogether, but you know, it's the same vibe. I just thought it was so pretty. I had to put it in. And I made this little tags here, and you get a little mushroom and some yarn and a lot of splattering. And then I loved this idea here. Just thought it was really cute. And then over here you get a little bee and a little butterfly, so it's all about pollination and the importance of the insects, because without the insects and pollination, I think Einstein said we would last 3 days because there would be no more food, you know. And afterwards we have here, this is not a tit. I don't have the name in my head right now, but it's something we see a lot also in France, like around forests and houses. And then we have some more images from magazines, and another beautiful bird. And here are some insects that I really wanted to add in. So you have a millipede, I think it's called, millipede, and I think it's that. And well, I hope it doesn't look creepy. You know, I really tried to incorporate them into the journal so that it doesn't stand out. You know, it's not a journal about insects, it's a journal about just the forest and its life. So you have another blue tit here and some more, well, I'm gonna stop saying. Just, yeah, texture paste, texture paste, texture paste, texture paste, texture paste here. It's everywhere. And this is crapaud, another type of frog. A little butterfly, and then there's my little napkin here and some more ferns. And I love this beautiful little cep. This is edible. I think it's a cep or it's a bole. I don't know. It's a mushroom, edible mushroom. Really, really yummy. And then I put this little image. It's a picture, photograph of a little snail, and I thought it was really, really cute. And then you have here a faucon pèlerin, another type of bird, you know, un rapace, the ones that prey on other birds. Yeah. And here you have a little reptile, a little beautiful little lizard, and more spattering everywhere. I really, really loved adding this little lizard here. Looks like a gecko, and I thought it looked perfect on this page that is very, you know, brown and greens, light greens, with a lot of gold as well, if you can see it. And then there's a little hérisson, hedgehog. And I love this image. There's this artist that takes pictures of bubbles, and I thought it was really cool, really, really cool. So I just thought I would add it in here. And then we have some more of my ferns, and there's more texture paste and some napkins as well for like texture. And I really hope you can see all this, but it's quite hard to show you. Oh, and I've also protected, since many, like all these pages are really, were ancient pages, I've protected them with cloth for a lot of them, and they're all protected with like paper everywhere. I mean, they're not going anywhere, as I mentioned before, so, but there is cloth in some of the pages. This is another one, an aigle royal, is it? I think, yeah. I didn't write the names, I should have. And this is hibou or une chouette. It's like an owl. In France we have two different names. There's two different types of owls in France, which I think there isn't in English. And there's more texture paste here and more napkins, and yeah, a lot of watercolor everywhere. And here we are at the middle of our second signature, and you have a little birdie with a beautiful blue. I've never seen this in France, so I don't think it's actually French. It must be from another country. And you have some more words about traveling here. And another hedgehog. Yes, I did buy a magazine about hedgehogs, so I would have images of hedgehogs in my journal. Well, I didn't actually buy it. It was my parents, and they had already read it, and I read it, and then I used all the images. And then you have all the die cuts and all the splattering and some of the background images I used. And I really like to use some of these a bit everywhere so that you can actually label some of your pages or add some important words when you journal, because that's something I do and I really like to do. And then we have here some Samperia rice paper and some more of those labels with little mushrooms, another little bird, and some texture paste with like white and gold as well. And then this is bark from that tree I mentioned with the white bark. And here is a little insect that I thought I would really incorporate. I did try to blend it in as much as possible with the colors so it wouldn't stand out as much. And you know, it's an insect, it's not that visible. So I wanted to do the same, like you really have to look for it, or you really have to focus on the page and figure out what's in it to actually see these insects like in the actual forest. And then here I really like the background page. It's got lots of dragonflies and plants and lots of stuff going on. And then we have here an image of a forest and some die cuts and a definition of moss, which is a flowerless plant without roots that grows in carpets. Which is really cool. And then I made this little tag here with a pristine word, which means that like humans have never been in there. And some more fussy die cuts everywhere, and then this cloth. And here is a seagull that I got from a book. And I really love this, and I think this insect is just absolutely beautiful, and I really wanted it to like come out and be visible because I think it's just gorgeous. And then we have here some more images of the forest, and you can see like the leaves and the tree. And this is a bouvreuil, I think, pivoine. And there's some more stamping, and then here you have actual space to write and little butterfly sticker, and some more of that paper from India that I got, and there's lots of gold as well. And this is one of my favorite insects. It's actually pretty big. Here in France we have it's not very easy to see, you don't see them a lot, and they're called cerf-volant, which means kite, you know, like in the sky. Not the animal, like the object. And it makes like so much noise when it flies around you that you're bound to see it. And you know, they're usually two, like a couple. So it's pretty intense because they're really big and they're flying with a lot of noise, but they're so beautiful. They're really beautiful insects. I really wanted them to figure in this journal. And then you have another tag here. Oh, that's my little badger and a little tree. I thought this one was so cute. It's a little sticker as well. It's got, I don't know if you can see the can you see it's sparkling? And then I really wanted to add this, and it's a tiny little tag with a little flower in it, and I just loved it. And I didn't want it to get lost, so I just attached them together. Yeah, and here is another one of those beautiful little mammals that we see in the forest, and some more of the usual texture paste, and a beautiful tree with some stamping everywhere. And then the definition of leaf, and some more images from magazines and books. And then my usual cutouts of leaves and ferns. And then this is another napkin over here, and this is a mésange nonnette if you're interested. And then there's a lot of more texture happening here with some texture paste and some napkins. And this is a really important animal in the forest. Really wanted to add it in, a little slug. And then we have here a beautiful mouse. I thought it was so cute. I really wanted to put her in here where it's quite light, with a little bit of like plants all around and some writing areas. And then you have a really nice big fern in the middle here. And this is the actual page, like the vintage page here that you can see through. So here you have the definition of untouched, a landscape that has not been changed by human beings, which is a bit like pristine, I guess. And then here you have another beautiful bird and the forest in the background here, some trees, bit of stamping. You see a part of a little butterfly here, and then another insect here that again I've just kind of incorporated in the whole page so that it wouldn't just stand out. And I've added some of these words that I thought really represented the forest for me. Enchanting, breathtaking, there's loads everywhere. I just thought they were pretty cool. And another hedgehog, of course. And some more background images. And this is a vintage wallpaper that I've printed out. And some images from magazines, some cuts as well. And then we have here another big bit of stencil with texture paste, and there's lots of gold and then white to really make it pop out so you can actually see the whole texture. And this is the last page, and you have here a beautiful butterfly, another insect, some plants, and again a little froggy that's really cute, and some ferns and little tiny little snail hiding here behind the plant, some more stencil, texture paste, and some napkin everywhere with like gold, if you can see it. And then this is the end of the journal with the back inside cover with some more watercolors. And this is the page I used, the cardboard here with like this little flowers here that are, you know, they're visible, and they're the same on this side as well. You can see them, and they have little glitter in them. I don't know if you can see it. So I thought they were really cute. And then I've used a lot of watercolor and gesso and white acrylics and put images and my stamps and just so much stuff. So this has taken a lot longer than I thought, but then I did have a lot to tell you about this journal, and this is my first time doing something like this. And I am sorry that I did not get to do an actual tutorial, but I had no idea how it would turn out. As I mentioned, this is my first time doing something like this, so I would really like to know what you think about it, if you think I should do another one and do another proper tutorial, or at least like a craft with me session, and tell you how I did this whole thing. And I think I will be a lot more prepared next time, because I've done a lot of things that I did wrong that I have to correct next time. So I'm pretty eager to start again and do it right in a way. I really enjoyed doing this. I really enjoyed doing the whole process and the whole decorating a lot. Like sometimes less is more, but sometimes more is just better. So is it less is more? No, more is less. No, yeah, less is more. So sometimes you can't just do more and more and more and not know when to stop. This is kind of what happened to me. I just kept on adding, and then I was like, oh, I should probably stop here. And I did want to put like textiles and embroidery and stuff, but I just thought, you know, it's pretty full already and there's lots going on and it's gonna be just, you know, not that visible. So I'm just gonna stop here. But I would really like to work on a journal with like embroidery and threads and lots of lace and textiles and stuff. So yeah, maybe that's my next project. I don't know. So yeah, let me know what you think. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what I do and if you want to support my channel and my work. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, for being here with me, for supporting me. I just really love you guys and your comments and everything, and it's really, really nice to be able to see, to show all this work that I do and have all the beautiful comments that I get from you guys. So thank you so much for your support, and I will see you next time. Bye guys, thank you, bye.